Buckle up, because what started as a family feud just turned into an emergency room crisis. And the woman in the middle of it all? Jackie Christie. Yes, Doug Christie's daughter is now in the hospital, and sources say it happened minutes after a brutal confrontation with Jackie behind closed doors. Was it a breakdown? An accident? Or something much darker? Because, according to insider reports, screaming was heard, doors were slammed, and by the time security rushed in, Doug's daughter was on the floor, unconscious. And the wildest part? Jackie walked out calm, collected, smiling. This isn't just a family falling apart, it's a war that's leaving scars. And now, fans want answers. Did Jackie push her too far? Was this a setup? Or is someone hiding something so dark it broke a daughter right in front of her own father? We've got exclusive details, witness reports, leaked texts, and one anonymous source who claims, if people saw what Jackie said behind those doors, she'd be done forever. The tension in the Christie family had already reached a boiling point, but no one expected Doug's daughter to end up on a hospital bed, shaking, incoherent, and barely responsive, just minutes after stepping into a private room with Jackie Christie. It was supposed to be a simple family meeting, a closed-door discussion before the next court hearing, a moment of clarity to ease tensions. Instead, it became the most terrifying breakdown this scandal has seen. Security camera footage shows Jackie entering the courthouse's private mediation room at 10:07 a.m. Doug's daughter enters 3 minutes later. No one else is inside. No legal counsel. No security. At 10:14 a.m., the hallway outside the room picks up shouting, muffled but intense. The door never opens. At 10:17, there's a loud crash. At 10:19, the building's internal panic alarm is triggered. And at 10:21, Jackie exits the room alone. She doesn't call for help. She doesn't wait. She just walks past the reception desk, down the hallway, and disappears into a private elevator. When security enters the room less than a minute later, they find Doug's daughter collapsed, head against the edge of the table, eyes rolling back. A paramedic source later said she was in complete shock. Pulse erratic. She couldn't speak. The footage went viral within hours. But what happened inside that room? A courthouse janitor gave an anonymous statement claiming she saw Jackie pacing near the hallway minutes before the incident, talking to someone on the phone. She said something like, "She's going to break. I know it. And that's when I'll win." I didn't think anything of it then. Now it haunts me. The public was horrified. Because this wasn't just scandal anymore. It wasn't just infidelity, secret babies, and leaked voicemails. It was trauma. It was abuse. It was a daughter falling apart in real time. Doug Christie, already weathering a storm of betrayal, was devastated. He had refused to comment for weeks, trying to protect his daughter from the headlines. But after this, he stepped in front of cameras, eyes red, voice trembling. My daughter should never have been left alone with that woman. This isn't about fame anymore. It's about safety. Inside the hospital, his daughter was placed under observation. Sources said she suffered a severe panic attack paired with emotional dissociation, likely triggered by extreme stress. But others aren't convinced it was just mental. One insider told reporters that doctors were running toxicology reports, suspecting something more may have happened. There's a possibility something was administered. We don't know yet. Was Jackie capable of that? Most thought no, until a former family friend leaked screenshots of an old group chat between Jackie and several unidentified contacts, where she openly joked about drugging a reporter's tea during a media scandal years ago. That post was deleted, but the damage was done. More questions surfaced. What did Jackie say in that room? Why did she leave before help arrived? And what was Doug's daughter planning to reveal that pushed Jackie over the edge? Because, according to court records, the daughter was about to testify against Jackie in a sealed hearing, not about paternity or money, but about something far worse: emotional manipulation, long-term coercion. Allegedly, Jackie pressured her to lie about Chris Webber being her father, offering money, freedom, and even a brand deal in exchange for silence. She told me to post a fake TikTok saying I forgave her. She said, "If I didn't, I'd regret it." She looked me in the eye and said, "I built you. I can end you too." That's a direct quote from a sealed deposition the daughter gave earlier in the week. It leaked within hours of the hospital incident. The reaction online was explosive. Fans who once adored Jackie began unfollowing her in waves. Celebrities who had stood by her issued vague statements, distancing themselves. Even Basketball Wives producers announced an emergency re-edit of their upcoming season, removing Jackie from 2 key episodes. Meanwhile, Doug wasn't staying quiet. He filed an emergency motion requesting full protective custody over his daughter, citing immediate psychological risk if Jackie attempted contact. His lawyers also filed a motion to suppress Jackie's legal access to her daughter's records, claiming she could interfere with her treatment. But Jackie fired back, hard. Her legal team argued that Doug was weaponizing their daughter's mental health to gain public sympathy. They denied all accusations, claiming the girl had a history of emotional instability and that Jackie had entered the room only to calm her down. Then came the twist no one expected. Chris Webber released a statement. He hadn't spoken in weeks, but after the hospital news broke, he posted this to his Instagram story. "What happened today, it wasn't right. That girl didn't deserve it. None of this was supposed to go this far. I'm sorry." The internet exploded, again. Was Chris confessing? Admitting guilt? Hinting that Jackie did cross a line? Speculation spiraled fast, especially when a former assistant of Chris Webber told a podcast host that Chris had tried to warn Doug months ago, but was silenced by legal threats from Jackie's team. "He told me straight up, she'll destroy anyone who gets in her way, including that girl. That's why I quit." Now, with a new firestorm burning across the media, Jackie's inner circle is reportedly splintering. 2 staff members quit, 1 PR rep ghosted completely, her personal stylist went on live and cryptically said, "Sometimes the devil wears designer." Inside the hospital, Doug's daughter remains under observation. But one nurse says she's finally stable and might be ready to speak. And what she says next could determine the future of everything. Because if she confirms what everyone suspects, that Jackie psychologically tortured her own daughter to cover up lies, then Jackie's empire doesn't just collapse. It burns to the ground. While the world waited outside her hospital room, the silence inside grew heavier by the minute. Doug's daughter, still weak, still rattled, was finally beginning to speak, according to 2 nurses and a psychiatric specialist. Present during her session, her voice was shaky, but her words were clear, intentional, and damning. She described a scene that left even the professionals stunned, a years-long campaign of emotional warfare, gaslighting, bribery, and manipulation, all from Jackie Christie. "She told me who to be, what to say, how to smile. She picked my outfits for court. I wasn't her daughter, I was her brand." The hospital immediately documented everything. Meanwhile, Doug Christie was seen pacing the hallway, with his lawyer on one side and his fiancée on the other. He hadn't left the hospital in over 48 hours. He wasn't going to until she was released and safe. But safety wasn't guaranteed. Even while Doug's daughter was being monitored for trauma, Jackie was already preparing a counterattack. Her legal team issued a press release denying everything, calling the accusations a fabrication constructed by a mentally unstable girl under the influence of her deranged father. But fans weren't buying it. Not after new leaked audio surfaced online, a recording allegedly captured by Doug's daughter days before the hospital incident. The clip lasts just under 60 seconds, but it's enough. In the recording, Jackie can be heard saying, "You will not ruin me. Do you understand? You'll say what I tell you, or you'll wish you had." The voice is unmistakable, cold, calculated, terrifying. That clip spread like wildfire. And now, it wasn't just fans turning, it was the entire industry. Producers, brands, sponsors, agents. One by one, they began pulling away. Jackie's fashion deal with VXN Apparel? Terminated. Her podcast partnership? Cancelled within 24 hours. Even her book publisher froze her upcoming memoir release, citing reputational concerns. But the storm wasn't done. Behind the scenes, Doug's legal team was preparing to hit back. Hard. They filed a formal complaint requesting a full restraining order, not just against Jackie contacting the daughter, but against any affiliate of Jackie, including assistants, friends, publicists, even her attorney, from reaching out in any indirect form. Their claim? That Jackie had already attempted contact through a mutual family friend who allegedly sent Doug's daughter a message reading, "Don't be foolish. Fix this before it's too late." Now, the court was taking things seriously. An emergency hearing was scheduled, and Jackie was officially under investigation for witness intimidation, obstruction of justice, psychological endangerment of a minor. Though her daughter is legally just over 18, the intent was clear and the damage irreversible. But then came the plot twist no one saw coming. While Doug and his daughter were preparing their testimony, Chris Webber went dark. No statements, no shows, no appearances, just silence. Insiders say Doug reached out to Chris directly one last time to ask for help, to tell the truth, to testify. Chris's response? A single message that read, "You don't know the full story, Doug. Be careful." That cryptic warning set the internet ablaze. What did he mean? Was Jackie hiding something even worse? Or was Chris protecting her? Some said Chris was scared. Others said he was being blackmailed. A few believed he was about to flip entirely and was building a separate case behind the scenes. But the real bombshell came 2 nights later. Doug's daughter gave an exclusive interview, under the supervision of her therapist, to a confidential legal investigator. Her testimony was raw, emotional, horrifying. She said Jackie manipulated her into staying silent about a key piece of evidence. A private video showing Chris and Jackie together in a hotel suite 2 weeks after the initial scandal broke. According to the daughter, Jackie forced her to delete the original copy, but not before she saved it to a cloud backup her father didn't even know existed. That backup has now been turned over to Doug's legal team. One source said, that footage alone could destroy Jackie's entire defense. It shows who she really is. Behind the cameras, behind the smile, the mask slips. Jackie's attorneys, once confident, were now scrambling. They filed a motion to suppress all video evidence, citing illegally obtained digital content. But the judge denied it, ruling that since the daughter was present during its capture, she had a right to share it. Now, the court was preparing to subpoena Chris Webber. And that's when Jackie made her boldest move yet. Just hours before the next hearing, she went live on Instagram. Makeup flawless, voice calm, tone controlled. She denied all allegations, called the video fake, accused Doug of brainwashing their daughter, and even claimed Chris Webber was mentally unstable and obsessed. But here's the thing, Doug's daughter was watching the live from her hospital bed, and she wasn't staying quiet anymore. Within minutes, she posted a single black screen to her stories. Text written in white. Everything she just said, I have proof it's a lie, and I'm done protecting her. The post reached 3 million views in under 6 hours. It was shared by celebrities, retweeted by athletes, and even reposted by Doug himself, with the caption, "Truth always rises." By the next morning, hashtag Justice for Doug Daughter was trending #1 worldwide. But here's what no one expected. Jackie went completely silent. No new posts, no public appearances, no updates. Her legal team even skipped the next scheduled hearing, requesting a delay due to emotional strain. The judge rejected the request. Now the court has set a date for a full public testimony from Doug's daughter, with subpoenas issued for Chris Webber, Jackie Christie, 3 former employees of Jackie's brand team. One of them has already agreed to testify, and what she's prepared to say could shatter the last pieces of Jackie's defense. According to this insider, there are emails, voice memos, payoff records, all showing Jackie tried to silence everyone who knew the truth, including her own daughter. Doug's daughter may have entered the hospital broken, but she's coming out ready for war. And this time, the truth is finally on her side. When she finally began questioning the narrative, Jackie turned cold. She said I owed her everything. She reminded me that she created me, that without her, I was nobody. But the most haunting part came midway through her testimony. Doug's daughter revealed that the day she collapsed in the courthouse room wasn't just due to yelling. She claimed Jackie locked the door, leaned in close, and whispered threats no one had ever heard before. She said she'd make me disappear.